Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicky V. I'm a studio musician and producer here in Nashville. Some of you guys probably saw that I've been kind of doing a series on guitar setups. So I did a video on Stratocasters, a video on Les Pauls, and you guys really seem to enjoy those, so I thought I'd talk about the last primary color of electric guitar, which is the Telecaster. Before we get into all that, I just really wanted to thank you guys that purchased the course that came out last Friday. It's called Nicky V's Fretboard Mechanics. It really means a lot, and I've taught a bunch of people privately, but I've never put out a course before. And so I wasn't really sure what to expect. It's totally a new frontier for me. And the initial feedback has been so overwhelmingly positive. I'm so glad that you guys are really enjoying it and getting a lot out of it. I really appreciate all the kind emails you guys have sent. And if anybody's interested in that course, I put out a video talking more about what's included in it last week. It's called Stop Playing Blind. If you look back at my channel, it should pop up. I'm holding up a Pelham Blue SG in the thumbnail. But if you're kind of stuck in a rut and want to open up the fretboard and be able to play freely in any key, anywhere across the neck, this kind of is your ticket out of that rut. So enough of the sales pitch. Seriously, though, thank you guys. On to the Tele. So the video is called How to Fix Your Tele, right? Well, there's really not a whole lot to fix. Leo Fender kind of nailed it on the first go. There's one major design flaw, though, and that's the 3-barrel saddle thing that we've all been having to deal with forever, right? And fighting intonation, sitaring, all the stuff that's wrong with it. There's a few ways to fix this. And the old school way is, you bend the screw and you try to get it, but you can never really get it dialed in exactly perfect. And there's two main problems with it. Number one is obviously the intonation issue, because on this guitar, for example, if I intonate the E string perfectly in tune, my B string will be sharp. And so that means that the saddle needs to be angled this way, or there needs to be some degree of compensation turning it this way. And it's the opposite on this one. If I tune the G string perfectly in tune, my D string will be flat. And so it has to angle back this way. And so there's companies that have put out a bunch of compensated saddles, but none of them address the issue of the string sliding around. And there's another thing to look at that as well. In the 60s, Fender came out with like the threaded screw that has the slots to where the strings don't move. But the problem is that the height adjustment screws were too close in, and so a lot of the time your string spacing would get weird, and you would get kind of the sitaring thing against the screw or just in the saddle, because if your saddle is looking like this, your screws have to go like that. So if your saddle's looking like this, the threads have to go like this because they're climbing, and so your string's trying to take a straight shot through something that has a slight bend to it. And so that's where you get the sitaring and all the weirdness that we typically don't like. We're trying to get a pure note out of a guitar. So up until recently, there really hasn't been a company out there that solved this until Music City Bridge, which is Joe Glazer's company here in town, which is like, they're kind of like the tech gods of Nashville. If you need a setup or anything, they're kind of the guys to go to. And they have these things now called the Groove Master saddles. And I'll see if the camera's focusing on that. And these saddles actually work if you're left-handed, or if you're a weirdo that has a wound G string. They have a fix for that as well. They're basically convertible, so you can flip them over. And they are machined and milled flawlessly. We're going to get into that as well. So I'm going to go downstairs to the workbench, kitchen counter, and swap these out, and I'll come back and we'll talk about it some more. Okay, so we're back. We got the Groove, what are they called? Groove Master saddles on it, and a new set of strings. And by the way, guys, I'm not affiliated with Music City Bridge or this company or anything like that. I don't even have an affiliate link for it. I make no money off any sales that this possibly generates. It's just a great product that I believe in, and I think you guys would enjoy it and probably solve a few of your issues. So all that being said, I got it all set up, and I just kind of eyeballed my action and kind of put these height-wise just roughly where I thought they should be, and then fine-tune from there, set the intonation. I was kind of pretty close, actually, just by kind of eyeballing it and guessing it. But after I got it fine-tuned, I noticed that the E string and the B string still weren't quite dialed in. There's a ton of things that could contribute to that, and no two guitars are the same. This product's really close, though, but Here's a little trick that you guys might be able to use. There's play in here, right? Because depending on, you know, nothing is locked in super solid on this, because it can't be. It's supposed to have a degree of play where the screw goes through here. And so one thing you can do is I needed more of an angle on it like this. The compensation wasn't quite enough. And so what I did is I actually ran this up to where everything was really sharp. And then as I tightened it, which pulled this saddle back to bring it closer into intonation, I actually took my fingers and kind of twisted on it a little bit this way. And obviously I'm not bending anything, but just the tolerance in there kind of helped me angle it back a little bit, and now it's just dead on perfect. And I intonate all my guitars a little bit flat if you've seen any of my videos for the G and B strings, sometimes the E depending on the guitar. And now it's just dead on. So if I play that note right there, look at my tuner, it's dead on. It's like 1 or 2 cents flat, which is exactly where I want it. It's probably 1 cent flat. It's my B string. It's about 2 or 3 cents flat. G string. 1 or 2 cents flat. D string, dead on. Dead on. A string, dead on. Dead on. Low E string. Perfect. So it works. It's a great product. But here's what it sounds like now. It has a snappiness on the low end I wasn't expecting, especially with it being brass. These are new strings. I stretched them, but still, I mean, like this right here. That's very hard to get a Tele to do that, just like that straight A string root G bar chord right here. That in tune, that's very in tune. It's pretty dang in tune right there. For a 3-saddle setup, it's pretty dialed in. And also, it just looks cool. Like, see if it'll focus on that. I'm not sure if the camera's going to decide to focus on this or not. But they look fantastic on there. And people hear with their eyes. I know we shouldn't, but we do. Another thing I wanted to point out is they moved all the screws, the height adjustment screws, out as far as they would go, out as wide as they would go. So you can kind of pick which slot you want without having to run out of space if you need one string to go up or down a little bit to get even spacing across the board. That is a huge, huge deal, because a lot of that sitaring thing you get a lot of the time happens whenever a string moves up against one of those screws. And also the height of these, they give you 2 shorter ones for the outside, which is great so you're not raking your knuckles across them. So they really thought about everything with this. There's, you know, it's like no stone was left unturned. And you can tell this is a company that deals with thousands of guitars a year, with picky studio musicians, touring guys, total pros that are very particular and have a ton of complaints, and these guys solved all of those problems in one product. So that's pretty cool. As far as the other things with the Tele, there are none. It was perfect straight out of the box. Leo pretty much nailed it. It's a perfect design. The other little stuff I mentioned in my other videos, just about like little intonation tricks, like on the Les Paul video and Strat video, and the typical pickup height adjustment and getting, you know, everything relatively equal when it comes to pickup selection as far as loudness goes. You can check those other videos after that. This is a custom shop which has the darkest, most perfect slab of rosewood I've ever seen on a Tele on it. I've owned, you know, probably 10 Teles, and this one by far took the cake and competes with a lot of the vintage ones I played. I have a DiMarzio Area T humbucker in the bridge, which, as far as the noiseless or hum canceling go, that's my favorite I found. I do have an affiliate link for that one down in the description. It's kind of like a cross between a P90, a PAF, and a Tele, so you can cover a lot of ground on it if you're like taking one guitar out to play live. This is a great pickup. It's a DiMarzio Area T, and this is the hot T. And the last thing I want to say about these is the mill work on them is incredible. After adjusting them, there's no tightness, or it's not too loose. Everything's exactly how it should be. And this is an American screw. This is a 672 screw, which is like the original, which is kind of cool. They kept that. So now there's no buzzing. Everything intonates great. No sitaring. It solved the problem, guys. It's the perfect instrument now. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Check out that guitar course if any of you guys are interested in kind of breaking out of the rut you're currently in. It's kind of geared towards intermediate players that are kind of wanting to push in that advanced intermediate. And then there's some other stuff in there more for the advanced intermediates. If there's any singer-songwriters, artists out there needing your music recorded, All you have to do is hit that link in the description. It takes you to my website called NashvilleTracking.com. We have a full team of studio guys here in Nashville. We do remote production work, and some people fly in and record with us. Sometimes they stay in Europe or wherever they're at, and we just pull them up on Session Wire, and you guys can watch the session right there with us in real time and talk to us through our headphones even. Yeah, really appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy this stuff, and thank you.